Hello, everyone. Welcome to Learning Insights, episode one. Whereby today I'll be talking about the future of AI generative tools with a very special guest for today. All right. So I believe for today, um, I do have a co-host with me, but I believe he's a bit too late to message me. So uh, you see him in the next episode lah. All right. So as for today, what learning insights for this LinkedIn Live is all about is to help, you know, also to help people to understand more about certain careers, certain uh, insights about industries. What are the latest trends? What are the latest updates across various different industry, especially AI? Who is which is generating a lot of attention at the moment. Microsoft, Google, Facebook, and Meta as well, and everything else. So it's a never-ending talk about whether AI will actually replace us or even our jobs. So that's what we are looking into, and we are going to discuss with a very special guest for today lah. All right. So before I continue, let me just introduce our guest for today. Um, he's no other than somebody that has done a lot of funny things on Facebook and Instagram. Um, be featured on Wabikong as well for some Kelantanese skit, and also uh, he's into coding, and I mean, let's not further delay anymore. Let's welcome JiaYee. Hi JiaYee.
Hello. Hey
Hi,
everyone. Hey
how
Cazey, how are you doing?
how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, I think doing good, doing good. I'm doing good as well. So great to hear. So how have you been, JiaYee?
Yeah, a busy day as usual. Good to
Busy
see you
day.
all here.
Yeah, good to see you too. Good to see you too. Actually, you know what? I don't know how many people are joining in at the moment. Just let me give you a check. Okay. So there are three reactions right now, and let me just see and mute. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
sup? Let's go. Yeah, I saw some comments coming in. Yeah.
Hello. Hi, to all the new joiners who are joining in as well. Please drop your comments below. Say hi and everything else. It's cool, man, to be finally coming live to LinkedIn for so long. I haven't been going live. The last I go live was in 2021. JiaYee
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes. Last time I think yeah, it's quite like some years ago. So kind of like quite fresh again. I even forget what is the software name that we used to live like. So I asked Cazey, hey Cazey, how do we go live already? I forgot already.
Yep. So to everyone who is just joining, welcome to Learning Insights Live podcast. We are joining in for here, and thank you for commenting as well for my co-host. Originally co-host, but you actually messaged me too late, so I had to go live myself lah. All right. So hi, Eugene, William, nice to meet you. Hanif as well, and Dennis. Thank you so much for joining in. All right. So without further ado, I just want to check with you, JiaYee. All
Mhm.
right. Can you intro to our guests, our viewers here, like what do you do on a daily basis?
Yep, cool. So first of all, thank you, Cazey, for having me on this show. It's been a long time after my last LinkedIn Live here. So I give
Yep.
a little bit background of myself. So basically, I'm a tech guy, right in the movie, the one with the hoodie and then playing with the keyboard, like hacking the metrics kind of stuff. So that's one side of me as doing the programming things that I'm passionate
Yep.
about, the hacks, especially like Cazey said just now, AI is catching the trend, like the front wave of the technologies. Everyone talking about ChatGPT, AI,
Yep.
stuff. So I am a tech guy, so I am naturally passionate on that, on the new
Yep.
shiny stuff of the tech. So that's me at one side, and another side is just like Cazey introduced me. I like to make some funny videos. I think like why not bring some laugh and jokes to the daily lives, right? So that's two
Yep.
sides of me. Yeah, one tech guy, tech nerds playing with keyboards. Another
Yep.
one side of me would be making some jokes, bringing funs and laugh and jokes. Yeah.
Wait, that's great. That's great. You know what? I believe on your LinkedIn, you mentioned that you are a cross-platform hybrid apps developer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, what are some of the interesting things that you found out, like in your career, lah? Or what are the interesting things that maybe you want to share online?
Yep, sure. If I go a little bit into technical, I guess we will bore the audience out lah. So let me
Yeah.
try to say in the human language instead of a programming language, right?
Yeah.
So what I think about why I started out with a hybrid apps is kind of like I set an end goal first. Instead of trying to learn something like usually people try to learn like, oh, I want to learn Java, I want to learn
Mm.
Python, I want to learn JavaScript. So actually I had the reverse. I
Mm.
want to build a mobile apps in the start.
Mm.
So I'm thinking like these mobile apps got two platforms, got iOS, got Android, and now got Huawei, BlackBerry
Mm.
already know lah, right?
Mm.
Less user already. So major player would be Android, iOS, Huawei. So basically
Yep.
Android and iOS. I'm thinking, how I want to develop one app that can run on my phone, my laptop, my tablet, all of the device cross-platform. So that's kind of the beginning of my thoughts and my career. So
Mm.
I move one step backward. So I have the end goal. I want to create something that can work on device. So I move one
Mm.
step backward. What is the thing that can enable me to do so? So I came
Mm.
across I just do some Google search and I see there's two types of apps. One is hybrid, one is not hybrid. That is called native lah actually. So
Mm.
native and hybrid. So native app is more towards Android is Android, iOS is iOS. And then this hybrid thing, I learned more about it. Then I found that, this thing can run on all devices. So it matched my end goal, right? So I started
Yep.
learning it and move backwards. These hybrid apps is need to learn TypeScript, JavaScript kind of stuff. So I move one step backward and back to the basic. I need to learn the web development tech
Yep.
stacks, which is the Angular, Ionic framework kind of stuff. So I move backward. I have an end goal first, and then I work my step backwards.
That's pretty interesting because like not a lot of people move like have an end goal first and then they move backwards.
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
inverted.
Yeah. Normally people like they find out that this career is interesting, they go for it. In the middle of it, like I'm not interested, like bye bye lah.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I started out, I didn't realize that I have this inverted path. So when
Yep.
I look back from now, like 5 years or 6 years ago, right? I started these things out. I only found that actually I worked the way backwards.
Yeah, that's very pretty interesting because I believe one thing lah. If you have an end goal in mind, right,
Mhm.
and you naturally think of steps on how to actually achieve that. And to achieve
Mm.
that, you have to move like backwards. You count your what are the things needed. I believe lah.
Yeah, all
Right.
makes sense. Like when we are
Yeah.
going out, right? We have something want to eat for the dinner, right? And
Mm.
then we think of where shall we go for the dinner, and then we only think about what is the mode of transport. Does I want
Mm.
to walk to the restaurant, or I want to take a Grab or take a car kind of stuff. So we work the step backwards. So we execute it. But if we go out first, and then we just found where I want to go,
Yeah,
it's kind of like a problem. Huh?
yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's why I believe one thing lah. Have an end goal in mind. Then look at what are the things that you need to do in order to achieve that, and really have the passion or hunger to actually go and learn from it lah. Maybe that's what I think. That's what you have lah. Not many people have it.
I think that's
It's
one
some
of the
it's some sort of like reverse engineering the process lah.
in engineering term that's called reverse engineering. That's
Yeah.
more towards the methodologies. But the most important is for me, I just want to get things done. So no matter like which path, actually I stumbled across quite some other path as well when I try to like make the mobile apps, right? I stumbled across Xamarin, but the learning curve is really high. There's another technology, another language. C#, if not mistaken, back then it kind of like frying my brain out. I can't process it. So I was like, no, I need to find another way to achieve the same goal. So actually I tried quite some tech stacks out there. It does, some have the high learning curve, some do have they also have a kind of like the no code, low code solution. But back then, those solutions are more towards vendor lock-in. So once you develop with them, you got to pay them every month. They will get you locked in their platform. So I think that's not way to go. So I try to find lastly I find a suitable. I can't say that there is a best framework or best programming language, but only suitable to what you want to try to achieve, right? So you want to build mobile apps that like me, I want to build that cross-platform. So I found that Angular Ionic would suit my needs. So I pursue the career.
Yeah, similar to a lot of people as well lah. Like for example, they have phones. They want to buy iPhone, but found out that Android can customize a lot of things compared to iPhone. Then it's like, oh, why not I go for Android, right? And also, I just want to give a shout out to Hanif Ahmad right here, who joined in, and he commented that you study at UMP back then, right?
Yeah, UMP 5-star.
Memang.
Yes.
That's great to hear, And then because I noticed one thing as well, JiaYee, every single day, I think almost without fail lah, especially on weekdays lah, at 8 a.m. in the morning, there's a post about you. You post about something, man.
Okay. Yep, right? You are right.
And then and you post a lot about generative chat AI, like Bing, Google Bard. Previously, it was Chat GPT, right? So with these three lah, what would be your take on the current generative AI chat?
Do you mean like limited to chat only, or all the stuff out there?
Let's discuss about everything that you can prompt on Bing or Bard or Chat GPT lah, because I believe they got a lot of functions.
Yep. So maybe I can take a word first. What I think about that is a tool. It's a very, very useful tool, I can say. So what its name called is not important, right? Maybe we have ChatGPT, we have Bard, we have Bing, we have Bong. So various name will come out in the upcoming years. So the name is not really playing the role. There's more new successor coming up. So what I think is these AI tools are very, very useful. So it helps a lot in terms of learning, in terms of working, depends on what industry you are, no matter it's tech or non-tech industry. Because actually nowadays, every industry also somewhat connected to tech. You have some electronic device supporting operations, or yeah, your upstream, downstream, kind of like it's hard to not having any electronic in your possession, right? So
Yeah.
in today's era. So I
Yeah.
think from my thoughts, it's very, very useful tools for AI.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So what are some things that you code? I mean, like, or you prompt over there, like
Mhm.
on a maybe on a experimental basis?
Experimental basis, currently I'm looking at the Google Colab a lot. So that's
Mm-hmm.
called Google Collaboratory, or it's
Hmm.
based on Jupyter Notebook. So
Yep.
that is also a tool. I like Google quite a lot because it is
Mm.
quite generous to provide some free stuff for us to play around, right? So
Yep.
Google Colab, you can run like Python thing. So in the cloud, you don't need a very powerful laptop. Just need a Google Chrome and then just open Google Colab. So what I've been playing around with recently was the loading the models from Hugging Face. There's
Mm.
another AI model marketplace. So play
Yep.
around with Google Colab, trying out the stuff there because this is a quite root level thing lah. Not until the kind of researcher route, but it's more to a developer route that we can play with the model because
Mm.
once the model is having the use case, we actually can develop this become a system. Like
Mm.
ChatGPT that we are familiar with is a product, right? It's a facing end user product. Like Cazey mentioned just now, is what do you prompt in ChatGPT? So
Mm.
ChatGPT is a product that facing the end consumer. So for us as a developer, from my point of view, from a developer, I will play with the one level low. Is
Mm-hmm.
what is this product using? This is using OpenAI GPT. Maybe another product like Dream Studio that I told you just now, right, is using
Yep.
Stable Diffusion, another AI
Mm.
model under the hood.
Mm.
So from my point of view, I will be more interested like playing around with the root level thing. But for consumer level, I think I use that a lot as well when doing documentation, generate something for my codes. I explain this code ChatGPT, then the code, this code query the database, and then show the user warning kind of stuff. So I like it a lot because I found this quite tedious job lah to do the documentation.
Wow. I mean, that's great. I mean, do this chat help you to generate useful codes as well?
Yes, it does helps me to generate codes, but as you know, right? Yeah, I think I saw the comments. So how was this tool help you in your day-to-day workflow? So,
Yeah.
and then another one, right? How does this help with your coding skills? So I
Yeah.
think this is aligned with your question. So we can
Yep.
take a sharing here as well. So
Yep.
for me, answering to your question first, does it generate codes? Yes, it does generate code. So where does it generate code from? What product that I might be using, right? So
Yep.
GPT is still the leading one. It
Mm.
generates the codes, but of course the codes is from the LLM, right? Large language
Mm.
model. It do have a runtime error sometimes. So we need to test the codes out to see if this is working as expected. So for me personally, how does I use this in my day to day is
Mm.
if I having a very clear requirement. All right,
Mm.
I want my application to perform a very specific function. For
Mm.
example, I want it to list odd numbers and also is a prime number from
Mm.
0 to 100. So I can write it on my own, but it costs me some time. So might as well I just prompt it,
Mm.
oh ChatGPT, I want this function that can generate a set of number that is odd number and that is a prime number, 0 to
Yep.
100. Yeah. Or I set a minimum to maximum. So I can pass
Mm.
in the variable 0 to 1,000 kind of stuff. So it's a very small function that
Mm.
I found it too time consuming if I write it myself.
Yeah, it's something like it's gonna take you 20 minutes, 30 minutes if you want to do it yourself, but you just prompt it, it's like few seconds.
Yeah, actually, it's more than that because
Yeah.
we if we write it ourselves, right?
Yeah.
We usually also refer to Stack Overflow lah, Stack
Yeah.
Overflow, Google. So we need to scroll through the comments and see, oh, this piece of code might be useful. Let's copy and paste and then try it out. So that's our usual workflow. So ChatGPT just simplify this workflow to give us the direct answer right away, because it's a very simple function, very accurate input and output.
Yep.
I give you this, you give me back this. So it's very easy to validate, right? I give you a number, you give me back the thing that I want, input, output. So if it does and it is, then okay. So like building the software is like building the house, right? You use the building blocks, like the bricks, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's all these small functions, small bricks that makes up the whole big picture. So what I use in my codes is the small bricks when I feel like I just want to get a correct answer from it.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. That's great. And just now, I believe you mentioned about so-called stable diffusion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think the images generated in stable diffusion is better than the old school creative designers?
Wow, this answer will. This, I think I will gonna whack by creative designers lah. Okay, so we must be careful here. Okay, about the
A bit spicy.
choice of words that we use here. Okay, so first of all, I need to clarify that I'm the person that I can't draw. So drawing or creative design is my short. One of my weakness lah. My very pain point. I can't draw. Like, I want to draw an apple. I will draw become orange. Kind of stuff. So I can't draw. I can't design. But I am a front developer, so this will cause me some problem. I need to rely on the UI UX, like you mentioned just now, right? Creative designers to hand me the design. Oh, I want this app to be like this. The button should be here. The logo, especially the logo. The logo that we use in these assets should be this one. Okay, you just put it in the app. So for my job, it's quite easy lah. I just put the icon, resize it, make it into the frame kind of stuff. So when coming to design, I can't make it myself. So when I come across the Stable Diffusion, Dream Studio, Bing Image Creator, DALL-E, you name it, these are just product name, right? So the underneath is the image generative AI model. When I come across this, I was thinking like, what can this thing help me? Let it try to generate a logo for me. Try. I just prompt it. So it just come out like, wow. Can use wall. Can use wall. Okay. So let me just prompt a little bit more complex, like imaginative, like I shared with you just now, right? Cazey, before the live. A cat eating a pizza in a spaceship. So that would cost creative designers quite some time to take the requirement. Oh, what cat do you want, sir? What kind of spaceship? And then is that alien on the spaceship or outside the spaceship? So we will have a communication cost, right? If I want to draw this painting out. So we will need to communicate with creative designers. I want this spaceship to be modern. I want the window of the spaceship can saw some planets, some stars. And then the cat should be long fur one. And the pizza should be triangle, not maybe square pizza. Okay, kind of stuff. It will be having communication costs in terms of time and the the turnover, turnaround. When I prompt it cut off the communication cost. I can prompt it again and again if it doesn't meet my requirement. So maybe the cat is too small. So I just took the prompt a little bit. A big cat. Okay, a big cat eating a big pizza. So for me, as a non-designer, as a guy that doesn't draw, I can say that's quite useful for that. But of course, for the professionals in the industry, you guys have to take lah. Or is it better than you guys draw or no? But one thing I think AI is not really good at is like designing the commercial poster, I guess. Like I want to design a poster for maybe the Chinese New Year kind of stuff. It
Yep.
can't really get what I want to prompt. I better use Canva.
Yeah, correct, correct. And it doesn't prompt the right kind of like the words, for example. I believe like
Hmm.
in the poster or something like that. Because Chinese characters we have plenty, you know,
Yeah. So I
and
think yeah, kind of stuff.
it's like suddenly just prompt suddenly like what is this? I haven't seen this word before.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. I was like, what is this? You give me, and I tried quite some time. Not only for Chinese words, English word, Bahasa, and I try as well. It didn't really get what I tried to do, so
Mm,
I just give up. Maybe I just want a very simple welcome, or yeah, maybe do not smoke. I want a signboard. Maybe it can't really process the
mhm.
wording. Yeah, on that.
Yeah, no problem. And I have a question from my co my co-host here. Do you think AI has made programming more accessible for those not from a tech background?
Mm-hmm.
Let's
I
say a co-founder with no coding experience. What do you think?
mm-hmm. I think AI solved the bottleneck and the knowledge gap on this.
Mm-hmm.
So, like before this, we might need to rely on a co-founder that is trustable, right? I trust you
Yep.
100%. I everything in tech you take in charge, but that's because the domain knowledge, the specialized knowledge is in the co-founder brain. Only he know, right, what is
Yep.
happening in the system. But in the term of the launch of these AI tools is getting more accessible for non-tech partners,
Mm-hmm.
co-founders to get the information. Of course, the information is already there, out there in the Google, in Stack Overflow, in
Yep.
everywhere, even before AI tools are born, right?
Mm.
So that's we agree on. That information is out there. Just like the law, right? We know that the law is is written in the law, but we don't know how to read it. We don't know how
Mm.
to understand it. So
Yeah.
when it comes to tax, the information is out there, but the non-tech founder don't know how to search this thing or search already but doesn't able to connect dots with the
Mm.
help of AI tools, especially like the able to chat, right? So I can ask, hey, my tech founder say this AWS
Mm.
need a lot of money leh. Is it correct?
Yep.
ChatGPT will tell you it depends on the pricing plan. Then depends on the pricing plan, the founder can further ask question like
Mm.
is this cloud endpoint really cost that much? Or
Mm.
how does AWS calculate the pricing? So
Mm.
they are, yes, I agree that they will be more accessible for
Mm.
those specialized knowledge as they
Mm.
can ask again and again, like further into the rabbit hole. Okay, so
Mm.
what is this consist about? Why does the logs reporting this error? Why does
Mm.
the notification doesn't work? So that is more accessible for the non-tech founder to get information because it can ask again.
Yeah. I mean, it makes founders and co-founders or even CEOs or C-suites, right? I
Mm,
think to make more informed decisions, I can just put it in such a way, right? Because
yeah.
at the end of the day, they are the ones who will be deciding which direction to go,
True.
Uh,
So at least they have some directions. They have some insights now, what we can say. Because
yeah.
all the things that we prompt and it return, it only can be used as reference, right?
Yep.
Reference for our decision making. The human always the guy that makes the call. The
Yeah.
AI just exists only.
Yep. Correct. 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 No problem. And also, because I think it's around 30 minutes. So normally on my channel right here, I will just put it around 30 to 45 minutes as to not waste too much of people's time lah, you know. Because if I right now want to put it at 1 hour, it's too long. and you can and then you can explain the whole thing about your codes, whatever it is, and then people be like, you know, that
Yeah, too deep into. Just remind me if I get too deep into technical. We don't want to do
yeah,
that. It just pop the
yeah,
others out.
yeah. Because at the same time, after this one, right, I'll be also making like further posts about these things as well, or snippets of whatever our life is or things like that, into content. So to actually help people out lah, like boost the, you know, make help them to make more informed decisions of whether they want to go into frontline, front developer or not, or choose to go into coding or things like that, lor. Or whether they
Okay.
want to become like someone like you lah, who experiment everything.
Depends. Everyone
Yeah,
have a different path, right? Yeah.
yeah. So like this is the first thing that coding AI stuff. My first episode is about that, and then you be my guest, right? So I think one thing is always that I think what we can wrap up right here, memang the generative AI is very useful lah to all of us. Your work as well can generate codes, can generate images, you know, more complicated images, but simple ones they like just
Uh,
anything lah. Yeah. So with that, what would be your final take on the generative AI? Should we adapt this into our work?
Final take, I think AI is not coming, is
Mm-hmm.
here. So either we just try to close our eyes and
Mm-hmm.
ignore it, or we take the initiative to learn it. I know it's quite hard lah for me when I try to uh, ignore the things as well. Like the new things coming up, we will try to like, oh, TikTok is just for the youngs, or like the Xiaohongshu kind of thing, or the new AI tools coming up. We try to ignore them because we tends to stay in our comfort zones. But
Mm-hmm.
the truth is, this is one of the really powerful things that I saw in the recent years. It's no
Mm,
matter like it's not like the Web3 or kind of stuff that's impacting a lot. AI is
mm,
impacting our daily life. Web3 maybe more towards the cryptocurrency and the investor realm, right? So,
yep.
but for this AI is inside our daily life. So that's, we like it or not, it's already here. So either we take the advantage right on top of wave of it, try to make something of it, right? Make
Yep.
something out of it, or we could be going under the water. Yeah, that's my take lah. It's already here, so
Yeah.
we could see it in the next few years that the
Mm,
impact is coming. So the time is still here, right, for us to all to pick up the things, no matter what is the products, the underlying text still the same one. It's a
yep.
AI model trend. There's more and more new products coming out. See which ones would we be comfortable with. Some people like
Yeah.
ChatGPT, some people like Bart, some people
Mm,
like Bing. So it depends what's the product. But I think once we learn this as early as possible, we will have a competitive advantage in the coming years.
yeah, sure. No problem. But at the same time, do you think it's going to take over our jobs?
Is going to eliminate a lot of jobs. Okay, that's
Like,
undeniable. Like
yep.
when the farmers going into the industrial era, right? The
Yep.
machine take over the manual labor. So we are at the cross path of this as well, where our office workers like me lah, sitting on
Mm,
here, like we are the office workers, is sometimes will be replaced by the generative AI because the text the technology is there, is more efficient, is more powerful. So it will eliminate many jobs. But just like I mentioned just now, if we take advantage of it, it is just a tool, just like a knife, right? You can
Yep.
use it to cut some fruits and eat it, or you can use it to kill some people. Yeah,
You know,
it's a double-edged
yeah.
sword. Yeah.
One thing, I believe the generative AI tools and all that, right, is there. But the thing is, unless they integrate this into something like robots, for example,
Mm-hmm.
AI robots who can actually speak your language, who can actually, like, when you talk to them, they know how to respond with the right kind of words, right kind of information, and also they can uh you can code them to like do your daily work kind of stuff. Until that phase, I think it's not going to take over our jobs lah. Because even to
Yeah.
create such a robot, right, it takes a lot of man hours, manpower,
Mm-hmm.
and also it's going to be super duper expensive.
Yeah, actually, one thing that you said is very correct. Developing of a new product. So
Yeah.
what's scary about this AI thing? Is
uh,
it improve the efficiency of a very small, what I can say. Let me try to rephrase. So, like you said, that it's very
mm,
expensive to develop a product. It takes
yep.
a lot of time to develop a
Yep.
product. But the scary thing of this AI, it's improve every chain of the development of the product development. So imagine
mm,
that, okay, I develop a product that increase the efficiency of a supply chain. So the
mm,
supply chain increase a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. So it have the chain effect. Like everything goes faster and faster and faster. So we can think like, wow, this robot can develop in like 3 years. It's
mm.
impossible if we back in 2010,
20,
2020.
2000s or so.
Yeah, it's impossible. But with
Yep.
this kind of AI tools coming up, like just now I bring out an example, right? Design a logo, bam, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, done. So in the micro part, it save up the time already. So designing a logo might be take like few days.
Mm,
It's come back to few seconds. Then
mm,
product instruction manual, like
mm,
AI also can write that, just provide the context, kind of stuff lah. The micro thing adds up, it combined together, it
mm.
can shorten the new product development uh,
Yep.
timeline for a lot. So instead of like the timeline of 10 years, 20 years, I think under 10 years is quite possible for that, like the thing that you mentioned.
Yeah. I think I totally agree with you on that. Like, it's gonna take uh not too long lah. I mean, right now everything is accessible, so I think few years lah.
Hmm.
We we might see something like this coming already, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I think 38 minutes right now. So before we wrapped up lah, okay. So because I'll have my next guest on uh 2 weeks from now,
Mm-hmm.
because on 31st I don't think I'm going to do a live. Is because it's Independence Day, Merdeka, right?
Ah, yeah.
So it's a public holiday for everyone. So trying to take a break on that. And then before we just wrap up on Learning Insights podcast, live podcast for today. So I just had one very, very last question that
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask every guest lah, on my platform. Okay. So this will be the question that I'm going to ask you lah. All right. Given a choice, would you still choose this career or would you choose a different one?
Wow.
Hmm.
Good question. My answer is quite definite lah. I will choose this
Yeah.
career
Mm,
because this tech is my passion. First,
mm-hmm.
I love it by the deep of the root. I like to like, right, try to think how this thing works. Engineering lah, basically, if in the
Yep.
fancy term. So how this thing works, okay, maybe other people is doing that already. It's an existing product. So just like ChatGPT is a product. How does this ChatGPT work? It's look like very simple. So just a chat interface, and it got so many traction. So then I like to R&D, do the research. Oh, okay, it use the OpenAI model. Can I do it better? Can I connect to the API? Oh, so it's kind of stuff that I deep in my root. I like it. So at the point of my career here, I am still considered quite fresh to this, like in the workforce. 26, I'm 26 this year, so it's relatively quite young. So I still look forward very quite a bright career path in front of me. Like tech is going expand into many industry instead of just capping into the soft part. Like Cazey mentioned just now, maybe the robot is coming out in the next few years. So it's bringing tech closer and closer integrated in our life, not to mention like IoT kind of stuff. So the answer is yes, I will choose this career.
Oh my God, that's so nice. That's so nice. I mean, like, not many will say that, but especially those who like, why am I in this career path? I learned a lot, but it's not my passion kind of thing. But I'm happy that you found your passion lah so far.
Thank you.
And then that's the reason why I always like to read on a lot of people's posts, especially yours in the morning, especially when I going to work. I was like, what are the new things that's coming out? And then I saw you making a post on experimenting it, and then like, oh, for example, the other day I saw roles, the one that I give to you, the one is for data analytics, right? You can just like generate the data easily, and also the analysis out of it. So I was like, wow, this is like, you can just generate like that. Wow, okay, this is pretty new.
Rose, right?
And
Rose. Yeah.
rose.com. And I believe like in the future, like data studio roles and all that, right? So they're going to shape this data analytics people to a different level lah. Like you don't need to do it in Excel anymore. The AI will actually pull out all the data for you already.
Yeah, can in a foreseeable future, that's fully automated.
Yeah, that's great. And it helps a lot lah,
Yeah.
No need to do so much of mundane works anymore.
Yeah, it's
Taking
kind
so
of
much time.
kind of like you asked me the question just now, right? Or I think the audience asked a question about the replacement of job. I think it's Cazey asked me just now. So the job actually will get eliminated, but a new job will comes up at the same time. Like you mentioned just now, well, human, we don't like to do tedious job like repeating job. So if AI is able to replace this part of our job, we as a human, we move to a higher level of how to solve problems more efficiently with the power of the AI. So we shift our career a little bit. Like instead of executing on the numbers, the spreadsheet, right? So AI can do it automatically, but we move ourselves a little bit. How do we solve our real world problem more with the help of the AI? So the shifting a little bit at that.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And also say hi to James lah. Hi.
Hey James, long time no see.
Long time no see, way. Hopefully next time you come down to KL, can meet lah. If it's on the weekend or something like that. This guy you haven't met in person yet.
True.
Yeah, so no problem. So I think with that, we can just wrap our session for today. It's 44 to 45 minutes already. So I hope those who joining in have a really good insights on the AI stuff. And also for if you guys want to follow JiaYee, do follow. And if you want to explore further into coding as a coding developer or something like that, hybrid apps or whatever, feel free to drop him a DM lah, and ask further about his career, things like that, right? So okay, so I think it's 45 minutes right now. We have reached to the end of our live. So thank you everyone who's joining in, and I hope to see you guys in next 2 weeks for the next episode lah, where I will just keep my guest details in private first.
Yeah, so guys, remember to follow Cazey and also follow Learning Insights. Thank you a lot, Cazey. Thanks again for having me here. And yeah, remember follow and then turn on the notifications so you get notification
Yep.
for the next guest. Cazey would bring the everyone. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.